What if there was a hidden thread woven deep inside your own body? An ancient cord linking mind to soul, breath to peace, stomach to mood. A thread ignored by modern science, yet sacred in the world's oldest traditions. This thread is real. Science calls it the vagus nerve. Mystics call it the golden key, the Serpent of Calm, the channel of the living soul. It is the longest nerve in your body and the hidden bridge to your divinity. Activating it changes everything. Your mood, your digestion, your energy, even your connection to the divine. You don't need drugs. You don't need rituals. You only need to listen inward. In this video, I'll show you how. The secrets, both ancient and scientific. Ready? Breathe in, let's begin. Before we open the golden thread, pause. If you're ready to explore the bridge between science and spirit, subscribe now. Touch the bell, let it call you like a sacred chime when new wisdom arrives. And if this vision moves you, give it a like, share it, and awaken with us. Chapter 1, The Forgotten Thread. The Hidden Current. For centuries, this mysterious current remained invisible to medicine, yet mystics, yogis, and shamans revered it as a sacred channel of life. Not mapped in anatomy, but discovered through visions, chants, and silence, they spoke of it as a golden thread binding body and soul. More than a nerve, it was the bridge where matter and spirit secretly touched, carrying wisdom older than history, a living current inside us all. The silent descent. It begins in the shadows of the brainstem, flowing downward like a hidden golden river. Through the throat it vibrates with every chant and word, then circles the heart, pulsing with rhythm and warmth. Across the lungs, it expands like invisible wings of calm, before anchoring in the gut, the chamber of memory, intuition, and emotion, where truth whispers silently. This descent is the map of balance, written in flesh. A conversation without words. This thread is more than structure. It is a messenger without voice, carrying messages between heart, mind, and spirit. It speaks in the stillness between heartbeat and thought, in every sigh and every trembling exhale. It translates emotions into sensations and silence into calm. It weaves serenity from chaos, a hidden dialogue reminding us that the body is not separate from spirit, but its first sanctuary, Egypt's Nile within. In ancient Egypt, it was imagined as the Nile within the body, a flowing river that nourished the inner landscape. Just as the great river sustained fields and temples, this hidden current sustained life inside flesh. Priests called it the path of Ka, the living soul. To them, the vagus was not anatomy. It was divine water carved in gold, the inner flood that washed the spirit clean and whole. The Chinese meridian. In China, sages described a vertical meridian connecting heaven and earth within the body's form. They spoke of breath traveling this luminous axis, aligning the human with the cycles of stars and mountains. Illness came when the channel was blocked, while health was the golden current flowing freely. Through Qigong, stillness, and breath, they awakened what science would one day call the wandering nerve of calm. The breath of God. In yoga, it was remembered as the breath of God, carried through sacred channels of prana that infused life into every cell. Masters described it as a river of spirit moving through the spine and chest, expanding with each inhale and softening with every exhale. To them, meditation was not escape, but union with this breath. The vagus became the hidden flute upon which spirit plays. Untruth, many names. Though cultures spoke in different tongues, their visions aligned in a single truth. The body itself was a temple of spirit. Egyptians saw rivers, Taoists saw meridians, yogis saw breath, yet all described the same living thread. It reminded humanity that divinity is not distant or abstract, but pulsing here and now. Across centuries, the same story whispered, spirituality lives in blood, lungs, and silence, forgotten by science. With time, Western medicine silenced the thread. The rise of scalpels, charts, and microscopes focused only on organs and functions, not the invisible life flowing through them. The vagus became just another nerve, a line in anatomy books, its sacred essence erased. Yet even in this forgetting, it never disappeared. Like a buried river, it waited beneath the surface for the world to remember, rediscovering the path. Today, science begins to uncover what mystics already knew, that this wandering nerve shapes mood, calm, and healing. Neuroscientists measure its signals, therapists trace its influence, doctors call it the key to rest and restoration. Yet behind every study lies the echo of older voices, what machines now confirm, shamans once sang. The golden thread returns to light, uniting body, mind, and soul. The bridge between worlds. This thread is both physical and mystical, the hidden bridge between biology and divinity. It is the whisper that slows the heart, the pulse that soothes the gut, the current that opens awareness. Stand still, breathe deeply, and you can feel it humming. It is not merely anatomy, but a stairway carved into the body, leading upward to spirit and downward into peace. The unbroken line. Through centuries of silence and rediscovery, the thread has never been broken. Whether called river, meridian, breath, or nerve, it remains the same golden path. It carries memory through generations, guiding humanity back to its center. Even now, it waits, shimmering in the spaces between breath and heartbeat, offering its gift to any seeker willing to pause, listen, and awaken to its light. The invitation. The forgotten thread is not a myth or symbol, it is alive within you now. It waits patiently, woven into your flesh, longing to be awakened. You do not need temples, incense, or rituals, only the willingness to breathe with presence and listen inward. This is not about adding something new, but remembering what was always there. The golden thread belongs to you, to all of us. Chapter 2, Science Meets the Sacred. Modern science tells us the vagus nerve is no ordinary thread. It is the hidden conductor of life's symphony. It governs the rhythm of your heart, the pace of your breath, the quiet strength of digestion, and the fragile balance of your mind. Like a golden line, it weaves your biology into harmony, linking organs that should never meet. Yet when you awaken it, the shift feels like stepping into another dimension. What science measures, the soul experiences as revelation, as though your body itself becomes scripture. In moments of stress, your body burns with alarms. Muscles tense, your heart races, your thoughts spiral like caged birds. But the vagus nerve holds the key to silence the storm without effort. When activated, it whispers calm across your entire system like a secret language. Heartbeat slow, lungs expand, and digestion rekindles like embers catching oxygen. It is not merely recovery, it is a rebirth, a metamorphosis from panic into peace, from survival into sanctuary. Imagine your heartbeat, once pounding with fear, suddenly softening into a steady drum. Each pulse feels less like survival and more like a sacred chant echoing inside your chest. The vagus carries that signal, bridging chaos and clarity in a single breath. In this silence, biology becomes indistinguishable from devotion. Your heart itself begins to sound like prayer, and with each beat, you feel more alive, more human, more connected to something greater. Your breath deepens, stretching the lungs into fullness, as though you are inhaling pure light itself. Each exhale becomes a ritual of release, smoke dissolving into the night sky. The vagus nerve is the unseen hand conducting this rhythm with divine precision. Scientists call it regulation, mystics call it communion. Either way, it feels as though your body has finally learned to listen to your soul, and in that stillness, every breath becomes both medicine and miracle. Then the mind clears. No longer trapped in endless noise, your thoughts settle into still water, reflecting only what matters. The vagus does not erase thought. It creates the silent space between them. That silence is where clarity is born, where wisdom grows. To scientists, it is a neurological shift. To seekers, it is a temple of grace. In that hush, you discover the rarest sound of all, the voice of your own spirit. Biologists speak of parasympathetic activation, but language cannot hold its wonder. To you, it feels as if an invisible temple opens, inviting you to walk inside. The calm it brings is not empty. It is fertile, a soil rich with possibility, waiting for seeds of vision. In that fertile calm, creativity awakens, intuition sharpens, and unseen doors seem to unlock. This is no ordinary nerve. It is a sacred portal hidden in your flesh. This state of restoration is more than rest. It is a rehearsal of life itself, a return to the rhythm nature intended. Cells repair, energy renews, organs harmonize, and your entire being remembers how to heal. To science, it is called homeostasis. To mystics, it is grace embodied. Both describe the same truth, that your body was designed to repair and realign itself. In that sacred repair, you find the path not just to survival, but to transcendence. The Vegas teaches that peace is not passive. It is alive, fertile with possibility. Like a field after rain, silence becomes nourishment for the unseen. In this quiet ground, intuition blooms like wildflowers in spring. You feel aligned, as if your soul has been waiting for this stillness to finally speak. Science calls it regulation, but you know it as revelation. What machines can measure, only the heart can understand. When this thread awakens, even time itself feels transformed. Seconds stretch like fabric, soft and endless, as the present moment becomes a sanctuary. Your body, once enslaved by urgency, now surrenders to a slower, wiser rhythm. The same body remains, yet illuminated, refined, shimmering in quiet brilliance. You feel like a bridge where science and sacredness meet. In this pause, eternity breathes through you, and you realize you are not just alive, you are luminous. The ancient ones were not wrong. They sensed what modern machines now confirm. Within you lies a switch between fear and freedom. Science proves its pathways in charts and signals, but spirit gives them meaning. The vagus nerve is the hinge of transformation, the axis where biology bends toward divinity. This is the frontier of wonder, the meeting place of reason and mystery. Here, data and devotion speak the same truth through you. In this sacred biology, calm is no longer a luxury. It is a calling written in your nerves. Each time the vagus awakens, you are not just surviving, you are practicing transcendence. It is the science of restoration wrapped in the mystery of spirit, both precise and infinite. And in that fertile calm, you hear something greater. It is not silence, but a whisper. The quiet voice of your own soul, finally heard. This is why the ancients revered the hidden thread. They may not have named it Vegas, but they knew its sacred song. To them, it was the breath of God, the river of life, the serpent of peace. Today, science confirms the mechanism they intuited. Together, science and spirit unveil the truth. Inside you lives a meeting place where the measurable and the mystical embrace. And that embrace is the forgotten thread remembered. Chapter 3, Ancient Activation Practices. In forgotten temples, long before laboratories existed, seekers discovered a secret. Breath could summon calm as surely as fire brings light. They did not call it biology, they called it divine rhythm. The slow rise of the belly, the steady fall, was a ceremony of life itself. To them, each inhale was an offering, each exhale a surrender to the sacred silence within. And in that silence, they believed the soul remembered its true music. Deep belly breathing was no trivial act, it was alchemy. The ancients believed that by drawing air low into the gut, one awakened the golden thread hidden inside the body. With every breath, the invisible current brightened, turning fear into clarity and chaos into order. What modern science names the vagus, they revered as the breath of eternity flowing through their core. Each cycle of breath was both medicine and prayer. Then came the chants, syllables vibrating not just in the throat, but in the marrow of the soul. When monks let sacred sounds echo against the walls of stone chambers, they felt the body tremble in resonance. To them, these were not mere sounds, but tuning forks for the human spirit. Modern research now whispers the same. Vibration is medicine. Sound became a bridge, carrying them from flesh to the infinite. Every syllable carried geometry, an unseen architecture of sound that stirred the heart and lungs. Om, Amen, or nameless tones rising and falling like waves, each one carved pathways of light along the golden thread. Chanting was never performance, it was alignment, an ancient technology designed to awaken the inner conductor. The body became both instrument and orchestra. In these vibrations they touched the very order of creation. Yet silence too was a chant. In forests and deserts, in caves and riverbanks, seekers discovered another practice, immersion in nature's stillness. The rustle of leaves, the murmur of water, the endless horizon, all of these became companions of the Vegas. They believed the earth itself breathed with them, syncing the pulse of body and cosmos. Silence became the canvas where eternity left its trace. Modern science now confirms what they felt. Stillness rewires the nervous system. When the mind surrenders to silence, the heart rate slows, digestion restores, and tension dissolves. But the ancients did not measure results. They lived them. To them, the pause between sounds was as holy as the sound itself, the gap where eternity touched time. They called it the breath of God hidden in the void. Among their mysteries was the gentle touch at the base of the skull, where the golden thread enters like a hidden key. Healers pressed this point softly, believing it opened a gateway to tranquility. For them, it was the crown of calm, where human and divine currents met. Today we know it as a tender activation of the vagal pathway. The ancients, however, called it the door of stars. Fingers, breath, and sound formed a trinity of restoration. One could breathe to summon the thread, chant to tune its resonance, and touch to awaken its roots. This was no superstition. It was a language older than words, a manual written into the body's design. Each practice echoed the other, weaving a net of safety around the soul. In this sacred weaving, chaos was transmuted into harmony. Imagine the scene, a fire-lit chamber, a circle of seekers, their breaths deep and slow, their voices low and vibrating. The air thickens with resonance, and suddenly the atmosphere feels alive, almost electric. It is not magic, though it feels like it. It is the Vegas being tuned like a sacred instrument, humming with unseen power. The body itself became a cathedral of luminous sound. Over centuries, these practices were guarded as treasures. Not everyone could access them. They were rites of passage, initiations of the inner temple. Breath, chant, silence, and touch became keys, unlocking chambers of calm hidden within. Those who mastered them were said to walk between worlds, half in body, half in spirit, unshaken by storms of life. Their calm became their shield, their presence, their power. Today, neuroscience has given new names to what mystics always knew. Slow exhalations activate parasympathetic calm. Chanting boosts vagal tone. Touch at the skull modulates nervous circuits. Yet beyond data and scans, the effect remains the same. The heart slows, the breath deepens, the mind clears. What science calls mechanism, the ancients called grace, a secret fire hidden within. And so the forgotten and the modern now converge. Ancient activation practices are no longer relics, but revelations, proving that the body carries its own sanctuary. The golden thread responds to breath, voice, silence, and touch, just as it always has. This is not superstition, but remembrance, a bridge between biology and mystery, waiting to be walked again. And when walked, it becomes the path back to the soul's original light. Chapter 4, The Spiritual Gate. The moment the vagus nerve awakens, the body is not merely soothed, it transforms into a temple. Breath slows, pulse softens, and the threshold between seen and unseen begins to open. A hush descends, as if the world outside dims in reverence. Within this silence, the body becomes an instrument tuned to divine frequencies. It is here, at this fragile edge, that the gate reveals itself. And in that revelation, time itself feels as though it bends inward. Through this gate, intuition sharpens into crystal clarity. What was once dismissed as coincidence now feels like guidance whispered from beyond. Colors brighten, sounds deepen, and subtle currents of energy move beneath the skin. This is not imagination. It is perception expanded, senses reborn. The mystics knew this space as the luminous corridor of truth. To enter is to stand at the crossroads of destiny and memory. Visions rise like smoke from an ancient censer. Some see light spiraling through the spine, others hear harmonics like unseen choirs echoing in the mind. These are not hallucinations but archetypal messages, carved into the architecture of the soul. The vagus does not merely calm, it unveils the inner theater where spirit and matter entwine. Here, the unseen becomes visible, and every vision becomes a mirror of your deepest self. The golden thread of the vagus is more than biology. It is the ladder mystics named the Scala Aurea, the golden ascent. Each slow breath is a rung, each beat of the heart a step higher. Rising, the body does not leave the earth, but carries it upward into realms of stillness. Spirit descends in turn, meeting us halfway in a sacred exchange. Breath by breath, the ladder becomes a path of return to origin. Mystics across cultures painted this ladder in symbols: the tree of life, the world axis, the serpent uncoiling upward. Each image is but a mirror of what the vagus reveals when awakened. It is the rope between heavens and soil, stretching through the body's hidden pathways. Climb, and the ordinary dissolves into the luminous. Descend, and light is carried into matter. This dance is the rhythm of creation itself. The gate is not opened by force, but by surrender. The vagus whispers through exhalations, through chanting syllables that vibrate in the chest, through silence that deepens like a well. In that surrender, the self loosens its grip, and the soul finds its wings. The golden ladder appears not as conquest, but as grace granted in stillness. It is not something you seize, it is something you allow. To step through is to remember what has always been forgotten, that the body is not an anchor, but a bridge. It does not hold you down, it carries you across. The vagus nerve, glowing like molten bronze, is the bridge's spine. It conducts not only signals of calm, but transmissions of spirit. Each breath becomes a key, turning the gate, and each key unlocks another chamber of the infinite. The state it unlocks is more than rest, it is communion. A space where the heart feels the pulse of the universe and the lungs breathe with the rhythm of the stars. Thought becomes vision and silence becomes language. Within this gate, you do not seek the divine, for you realize you are already inside it. You are both the traveler and the destination itself. Ancient adepts knew the danger of ignoring this power. Without the vagus tuned, the ladder collapses and the self becomes trapped in chaos. Stress, fear, and frenzy flood the body, closing the sacred door. But when the nerve is honored, the flood subsides and the passageway reopens. Order returns and spirit flows again like golden water. What was once broken is restored into cosmic harmony. The gate is both fragile and eternal, hidden in plain sight. It does not demand temples, altars, or offerings. It asks only for presence, for you to listen to your breath, to surrender your racing pulse to silence. In that simplicity, the grandest alchemy unfolds. The body and spirit fuse into one continuum of light, and you realize the gate was never outside, but always within. Through this alchemical gate, the mundane is transmuted into sacred experience. A simple exhale becomes a prayer, a heartbeat becomes a drum echoing eternity. The vagus transforms daily life into ritual. You realize the divine was never distant. It was pulsing in your chest, shimmering in your breath, waiting for you to notice. The ordinary becomes luminous, and life itself turns into liturgy. Thus the mystics called it the golden ladder, not because it was far away, but because it was hidden within. To ascend is not to leave the world, but to re-enter it illuminated. The vagus nerve is not just a thread of flesh, but the rope of spirit, the key to the gate, the bridge to the infinite. And once you have crossed, you are never the same. For the ladder does not end. It only spirals upward into eternity. Chapter 5. Your daily ritual. Morning does not need a cathedral to feel sacred. The very first inhale you take can be the temple itself, opening doors no architecture could build. Imagine your body as the altar, your breath as the offering. The light of dawn streams through your window, and in that silence, the vagus nerve begins to hum awake. One breath, and already the world feels less heavy. And with that breath, the ordinary room around you glows like a sanctuary. Place your hands upon your belly as though cradling a secret flame. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, then let go for 6. With each cycle, tension melts, shadows recede, and clarity unfurls like dawn mist. The rhythm tunes your heart like a sacred instrument, resonating with hidden frequencies. You are no longer just breathing, you are invoking alignment. With every round, your body writes its own prayer into the silence. 5 minutes of this ritual is enough to shift your chemistry, your destiny, your day. As lungs expand and collapse, you feel the vertical golden thread inside you glow brighter. The pulse slows, the heart softens, the mind widens its horizon. In this stillness, your body becomes both scientist and mystic, measuring what cannot be measured. Peace. And peace, once awakened, ripples outward like rings across endless water. Now hum softly, low, steady, unhurried. The vibration spills through your throat like a secret chant, echoing in an underground temple. The sound is ancient, primal, a code written in your nervous system. The vagus nerve awakens as if it remembers, as if this song belongs to its very core. With each hum, the silence listens back. And in that dialogue, you discover language older than words. Walk barefoot upon the earth and feel how the soil greets you. Every step is a conversation, the ground whispering through your souls into the golden ladder within. The pulse of the planet mirrors your own, heartbeat syncing in invisible dialogue. Suddenly, you are not walking, you are being carried, as though the earth herself wanted you closer. Each grain of soil beneath you becomes a star in this cosmic communion. The ritual is not about grandeur, it is about intimacy. It is the kiss of wind against your face, the cool grain of dirt beneath your toes, the warmth of sun across your shoulders. These are sacraments hidden in plain sight. When you allow them to touch you, the vagus thread shines like molten gold. You remember you belong here. And belonging itself is the oldest medicine. At night, when the world exhales its final sigh, touch the soft hollow behind your ears, gentle, patient, like tracing an ancient rune carved in your own body. The pressure opens a secret gate, calming storms that never spoke their names. Your heartbeat slows, your breath deepens, your spirit drifts closer to dreams. The vagus nerve hums quietly, you are safe, and sleep arrives like a loyal guardian. These gestures, belly breathing, humming, walking, touching, are not random acts. They are choreography, a sacred sequence older than scripture. Every move aligns the nervous system as if tuning the strings of a forgotten lyre. With practice, you begin to hear the music again, low, resonant, eternal. The body sings what the mind forgot, and the forgotten song becomes your most faithful companion. Imagine 5 minutes each morning, weaving invisible threads through your day. The hum you carried at dawn still vibrates when chaos tries to claim you. The breath you began with keeps untying knots hours later. Rituals fold into minutes, and minutes shape destiny. This is how the ordinary becomes holy, and holiness in turn transforms into quiet strength you carry everywhere. The ancients knew repetition is enchantment. By returning daily, the body learns to trust, the spirit learns to rise. Slowly, what was once practice becomes presence. A thread that seemed fragile proves unbreakable. Every sunrise, every barefoot step, every whispered hum is a vote for restoration over ruin. And in this devotion, the mundane becomes miraculous. Do not mistake simplicity for weakness. These acts are spells dressed in humble clothing. The temple is built not of stone, but of breath, touch, sound, and earth. What you repeat becomes what you are. And as you honor these appointments with yourself, the vagus nerve becomes your priest, conducting the liturgy of calm. Its hymn is the silence that steadies your heart. End each day knowing you have kept the appointment. The gate remains open, the body remembers, the soul hums like a tuning fork aligned with the cosmos. Tomorrow, the ritual will call again, and you will answer, not out of duty, but desire. For what greater devotion exists than to return to yourself again and again until you are whole, and wholeness itself becomes your final temple. Inside you, the key has always been waiting. Every breath you've taken, every heartbeat you've felt has been a reminder of this hidden connection. The vagus nerve is not just anatomy, it is the golden thread weaving your body to your soul. Through stillness, through sound, through touch, you open a door where fear dissolves into calm, where intuition becomes clarity, where your body and spirit remember they are not separate. Breathe deeply, feel the vibration within your chest, listen to the silence behind your thoughts, and remember, the temple you seek has always been you. You are the altar, you are the prayer, you are the light waiting to awaken. If this vision stirred something within you, do not let it fade. Subscribe and continue walking with me into the hidden pathways of the body and spirit. Like this video if you felt resonance in your chest. And share it with someone who longs to remember their own sacred connection. The golden ladder is already inside you. Together, we climb.